Okay. Yep. Good morning and good evening, everyone. And we are going to start the session today. For today, the main agenda will be mapping. How we can perform mappings. There are four types of different mappings available in PI. These are four different types of mappings: graphical mapping, Java mapping, ABAP mapping, and XSLT mapping. Coming to the comparisons, message mapping, a graphical mapping or message mapping. You can shortly call this as message mapping also. Okay. So message mapping or graphical mapping is said to be the most used one, and it is what recommended by SAP also to go with it. Okay, if your business functionalities could not be achieved by using this sim graphical mapping, then you need to shift to other mappings like Java, ABAP, and XSLT mappings. Now, for now, at this particular stage, we will be confining ourselves to understand what is graphical mapping and how, what are the inbuilt functions that are available for us in graphical map to do the graphical mapping. Graphical mapping or message mapping. Okay. As you guys already seen the screen, right? The message mapping screen. Oh, is it very slow, Manzoor? It's taking a lot of time.
Yes, Anudeep. It's very slow.
Oh, God. Yesterday I had reported this and they said that they had taken some action. Okay, let me connect again.
Doesn't look like.
Yeah, I'll check once again today.
Thanks.
So this is the message mapping screen, and we are totally going with a one-to-one mapping. That is like directly we are giving the customer, if customer name is coming as an input, directly we are giving that to the vendor name. But this is not the same case for all the business cases. For some business, they will ask us to do some manipulations in the data such that their own system will be accepting it. So, for example, here say system A is sending some data in his own naming convention format, and system B need to receive data in their own receiving conventions. Like if a date is there, for example, a date format is there. So my system A says that I will send the date in this format only, YYYMMDD. But my SAP system reads like this one. It do not require hyphens. This is one thing where we need to do some mapping change or do some extra, add some extra functionality in our one-to-one mapping, and then we will be trying to retrieve this particular thing as an output. Similarly, if a material number is there, material number is an 18-digit one, but for my sender or receive for my non-SAP system, it is like only 5-digit one or a 6-digit one. Okay, then so what I need to do is whenever my non-SAP system is sending a material number to ECC system, I need to append those many zeros which are missing up to get 18-digit number. I need to append those zeros and then send to the ECC system or SAP system. More than this, we will be having many more other examples. Like for a very short one again is, in my system A, I am having something like first name comma last name. Okay, but in my receiver, I am having only one column, that is name, which need to be concatenated with first comma last. Okay, so my receiver need to get the concatenation format of first name and last name. So these are some good examples for why we are trying to move into message mapping functions. Let's go with our regular example. So,
Sriram here.
yeah, sure.
Can you please give me 2 minutes? I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, Shri.
Hello.
Yeah, Shri.
Yeah, we can continue.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were discussing about messaging in the graphical.
Yeah. So this is the message mapping screen. In this, as already you guys know, this is the source message type, and this is the target message type. And for each field we are trying, for each target field we are trying to map with the source field accordingly. Okay. So here, if you come down a bit, here we are having something like functions. Okay. These are nothing but the standard functions that are provided by SAP for us. Firstly, let me list out those standard functions. Arithmetic, Boolean, text, date, conversion, constant, statistic. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, right. So these are known as the standard function groups. Okay. These are all function groups. At each function group, we are having many sub functions. Like in arithmetic, we will be having something like add, subtract, etc. In Boolean, we will be having like or, not, and, if, etc. For text, something like substring, concat, etc. Date, date translation, current date, etc. Conversions, fixed values, value mapping, etc. Constant, sender, receiver, etc. Statistic, sum, count, average, etc. Okay, so these are very simple examples, or very small example, one or two examples for each function group that we are having. So let's see in detail what are all these function groups and how these are helping us to format our output data. So you can find all those function groups at this particular point, like arithmetic, Boolean, text, conversion, date, constants, node functions. Okay, sorry, I missed the node functions, and statistic. Okay, coming to arithmetic, let me note the functions also here. Node functions also I had wrote it. Now let's start our journey in message mapping with arithmetic functions. Arithmetic functions are simple, very simple functions which work on numbers. Surely the input data should be number, such a way that it can perform the simple arithmetic operations like add, subtract, divide, multiply, square, square root, absolute, etc. Let's see. Firstly, let's take one add, and how to just click on this, it will appear here. Just you need to give how many inputs are there, those many outputs for here. Now what I am doing is I am combining the customer number and order number. Going to test tab. In the test tab you can test the mapping also, no? Just I will be giving some example. 1, 2. So I'm taking order number as 1, customer name as 2, and just a sample data for line items, and just click on execute. Okay, I got the output, and the output is, see, now the order number is 3, 1 plus 2, which is 3. Okay, so you can see the output here also just by right clicking on this function or any function. Okay, you can just right click on it and say display queue, and this will display what is the inputs that are coming in and what is the output that need to be done. In the display queue you will find what are the inputs and what are the outputs. See here, 1 is an input and 2 is an input. These two are as inputs, and this is the output. You can see in 1, in 0, in 1, and out. Okay, so at each and every function you can do this display queue. Okay, like this. So that shows what are the inputs that are coming in, what the output that need to go out.
One question, maybe. So it's basically like a cache.
Now,
I mean, how it retains the values?
which one? The display queue?
Uh-huh.
The display queue is just calculating as per the test. This test values are there, right?
Yeah, but there were multiple rows, right?
Where are multiple rows?
Yeah, so null and then 1 and 1 and 2 and 2, 3.
Oh, okay. This one. We will get into that. Okay, we will get into that. No worries. Okay.
Okay.
When we are discussing on the node functions, we will go into that concept.
Okay, sure. and even if we specify the string, so it still can added those two numbers, right?
Yes,
Basically the
but
data type is.
see,
Mhm.
if I give a
So it
string,
should,
real string here, then it will
uh-huh.
not do this.
So it should give an error, right?
Yes, it should give an error. See, it's give an error.
Yeah.
Cannot cast as to decimal number. Okay. So when that's
Sure.
why I told whenever you are working with arithmetics, you need to have numbers only.
Okay.
Similarly, a subtract where you are having two inputs, input 1 minus input 2. And also the best way here is one of the nice functionality what SAP had given for us is, if you just keep your mouse on the any function, you will get what is the description of that function. See, if I'm keeping on the description here equals, it says that returns true. It is jumping like anything. Returns true if float numbers represented by argument strings are equal, otherwise false. Okay, so by that itself you will get what is what exactly this function is doing for us. See, what it says is, this function returns true if the two float objects are equal, else it returns false. So now order number and customer name are equal, then only this will return a true, else it returns a false. Let's see. It is false. If I say it's 2, see if there are both are 2, 2, if they are true, sorry, if they are same, it is returning true. That's what the equals function does for us. Now coming to absolute value. Absolute is nothing but irrespective of the sign, what is the absolute value I am having. Okay. So as absolute is having only one input, I had taken only one, I had removed the customer number. If I give a -2 here, the absolute value of -2 is 2. So it gives it removes the sign of the number and gives the only the value what is present there, absolute. That's what 2 implies. Okay. Next comes square root function. It is nothing but square root of order number. If I gave the order number as 4, the square root of 4 is 2. Order number should be 2. So we got the order number as 2, which is a square root of the square root of this particular function. Similarly, the next function is square. So order number square. If you do this, you will get the square of the function. Next thing is sign. So it represents what is the sign of this particular order, particular element. Just keep on it. Returns -1 if the number is negative, +1 if number is positive. So what it should return, if 4 is there, it should return +1. See, it had returned 1 here. If it is -4, it returns -1. Similarly, if it is 0, it gives 0. See, -4, the output is -1 here. Next, coming to negation. Negation will negate the sign of the number. If positive is coming, it negates it and becomes negative when it is coming to the output. And vice versa with the positive. Then coming to 1 by x, it is nothing but if this is taken as x, we will inverse it 1 by x. Okay, 1 by order number, that will be output of this particular function. Next comes to power. Power is nothing but a to the power of b. A input 0, input 1. So 1 to the power of a, if it is a and bit is b, a to the power of b. So that power function is also available for us. Next, coming to less than. If input 0 is less than input 1, then it returns true, else false. Input 0 is greater than input 1, then this function returns true, else false. Multiply, it multiplies a cross b, a into b. Then coming to divide, a divided by b, a by b. Max, max value returns the maximum of both inputs. Implies,
Anudi?
yes,
Yeah, here we are giving only two inputs.
yes.
Like if any case, like if I want to give more than two, is it possible?
It's not possible, Kishan. We need to go with multiple nested functions like max. If
So,
maximum is there, we need to go with max, max, max out. That's it. Like nested if, how we are writing.
okay.
Okay. Next, coming to sorry. Next, coming to min. Next, coming to min. Minimum is nothing but minimum of both the inputs. Input 0, input 1. Out of those two inputs, which is minimum, that value will be coming as an output. Next comes to seal. Seal is nothing but the top. It is like if 1.4 is coming as an input for me, the output will be 2, right? The seal function. Floor. Floor is reverse of seal. That is, if 2.9 is an input for me, then also the output will be 2 only, not 3. Okay. Round. Round is nothing but up to 0.5 it goes to the lesser one, after 0.5 to the higher one. It states that it goes to the nearby integer. If 2.4 is coming, the output is 2. If 2.6 is coming, the output is 3. Okay, any doubts up to these functions? Can I proceed to counter? Okay, I will take it as no. And
One question, Anudip.
yeah, go ahead.
One question, Anudip. Okay. Now, for example, this one, divide. Okay. So basically, if order number and customer we put as input, it will be order number by customer, right? That will be output, correct?
Yes.
Now, how it will understand which will be the numerator and which will be the denominator?
Simple. If you see the description here, in the description it states first value by second value. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
So
which
which one
one
is
you will
first?
be giving as a first and which one will be giving as a second
Got it.
as per that.
Got
Okay.
it. Got it. Got it. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to the next one, that is counter. Counter is nothing but it counts how many times the occurrence of this number is there. Okay, let me take this as, if I'm having brand here, right? I had taken the brand as like this. Let me map the brand with counter. If I map the brand with counter, if you double click on this counter, okay, it states we can give some properties or parameters here like initial value and incremental value. So initial value, if you want to start with 1, you can start with 1, and if incremental value, you can change. You can change both the one, of course. I'm changing the incrementation to 3, and let's see how the output triggers for us. And here I am taking 2 line items. See the output of 2 line items, brand value. For the first line item, the brand value is 1 because the initial value we had specified is 1. For the second brand value, it is the second occurrence in this in this output. So it is like 1 plus 3. If I am having one more line item, it will be 4 plus 3, that is 7. So counter is nothing but it counts how many occurrences that particular value is coming up for us, and as per that the incrementation will be taking place. See, now the brand value is 7. Okay, that's what your counter implies. Then coming to format number. Format number is having one input and one output here, and this is what we are talking about, number format. That is like 18 digit, like material number I want like 18 digit format, or the number format I want like this. I want 4 digits need to be mentioned and 2 decimal digits. Okay, whatever the input you give to me, it should be in this particular format. If I say 55 is my order number, let me see. If 55 is my order number, see, it is been formatted into 0055.00. Okay, so this is like the format we need to mention. For a for very simple examples, we can take currency. Currency need to be always mentioned with 00 decimals. Okay, if that's the case, what our business analyst gives to us, then you can use this format number and just give the decimal number there. Okay,
Can you put it comma?
yes.
Can you put the comma over there?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Just like decimal separator. In this decimal separator, you can give whatever delimiter you want, and you can go ahead.
And let's say like we want to format material number.
Yes.
So we'll remove that separator, right? Then it will be like 18 zeros.
Yes.
And then if there is any number preceded by 0. Okay. So it's basically just for numbers, or how is it?
1 minute. 1 minute.
Format number. Okay. It's format number. Yeah.
It's format.
It's basically for, yeah.
Okay. Kishan, is it all right? You can just give the decimal how you need to mention like this, yes, comma or some delimiter, and
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, most of the currency formats like different,
Yeah,
right? So
with comma.
yeah, it
Yes.
will work. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And for Shri, see, for any number format you want, like you need to mention here 18 digits like that, and then you need to keep that and test it. Okay, then those 18 digits will be it will check and append all the zeros, how many days those are required to format that 18 digit. Like this. Okay, so that is what your arithmetic is. Any doubts in arithmetic? Ramesh typed edit codes, say remove lead zeros reporting. What is this? In reports. Okay, in ADAP. Okay, okay. Okay, Ramesh, thank you.
So basically, he's asking the reverse of what we did just now.
Is he asking or he is saying something on that? Asking. Yeah, I think just remove your speaker and speak out, Ramesh. Let me understand the question. Say remove leading zeros. Okay, okay, okay. So it is on the vice versa. Now you are appending some leading zeros, and if you want to remove that, what need to be done? Okay, is that right? Okay, if that's the question, then we require some more time for answering it. Okay, at this particular point only we are concentrating on appending the zeros. For removing the leading zeros, we need to write an user defined function that we will go through that tomorrow. Okay, for today we are completely concentrating on standard functions. Tomorrow we will go with user defined functions, then we can discuss about that. Removing leading zeros. Okay, arithmetic is fine, right? Any doubts in arithmetic functions? Pretty much easy. Just you need to understand the concept of how PI is using those arithmetic. If we understand that, it is pretty much easy to use in our mappings. I am jumping into the our next thing, that is Boolean. Boolean is also very easy one. It's like simple AND function. For example, AND implies nothing but true. It takes the Boolean values as an input and output, right? So it takes true and false, a true or false as an inputs, and as per that the formation, the output will be coming like true and true is true, true and false is false, false and false is false, like that. The complete our Boolean logical operators will be coming up into picture. So this AND or not equals, everything are having booleans as an inputs and a boolean values as an outputs also, as per the functionalities is concerned, as per their logical operators are concerned. So I will take this up with an if statement. Here we are having something called if statement. This is if the simple if then else statement, where this is the condition, if condition, and if it is this condition is true, then this is the argument that will be passing up, else this is the argument that will be passing to the output. For example, I will say let me take brand as an example. On brand I will be using this if else. Let me say that if order number is less than 4,000, if my order number is less than 4,000, and vendor. Okay, let me take only one thing. Okay, if order number, sorry, if order number is less than 4,000, go to operation, go to less. Okay, and for now I am taking a constant which is a hard coded value as 4,000. Okay, if that's the case, then the constant will be SAP, else it will be non-SAP. Okay, let me test this. I'll remove the line items here. It's not necessary at this for this function. As order number is 55, which is less than 4,000, the output should be SAP brand. The brand value should be SAP. Let's see. So here you can see the brand value as SAP. If I take more than 4,000, it should come as non-SAP. Okay, non-SAP like this. So we are now confined with only one condition, that is order number should be less than 4,000. Okay, now let me go to one more condition. Now I want one more condition to be there, that is, for example, customer name starts with something like yes. I'm going to text here. I am having starts with. Okay, we will see this when we are going to text functions. No worries. Just it states whether it starts with yes or not. Okay. Now what's my condition is, if order number is less than 4,000 and customer name starts with yes, small s, then SAP is my brand value, else non-SAP is my brand value. Okay, so let me start with yes only. Okay, see, order number is greater than 4,000 and customer name starts with yes, but so as this is false and this is true, we got non-SAP. Okay, let me reduce that. Let me give a true value for both. So now order number is less than 4,000 and customer name is starts with small s. The brand value is true, which is SAP. Okay, this is how your logical operators will be working out for you. See, similarly, or you can replace and with or. Then it says like order number less than 4,000 or customer number starts with S. Okay, if you want to negate this, like very simple. If you want to negate with, that is like I don't want the customer number starting with S, then I will negate this and give this as an input like this. So this gives me the output of which customer name starts with S. If I negate this, it gives the example, it gives the statement like which does not start with S. That's what the negation implies. Next comes to equals. If both the booleans are equal or not, then it returns true, else it returns false. Similarly, not equals. This is if else. This is what we had seen just now, how the if else statement will be working out for us. Okay, this is if without else. This is the same thing. This if and this is if without else. Both are the same thing, like with else and without else. Okay, here is the condition, and then this will be the argument that will be passed to the output. Similarly, we are having something like if capital S and if capital S without else. Okay, so what is the difference between a normal if statement and what is the difference between this absolute if statement? There is a very small difference, very much small difference, nothing. So our normal if statement is if A is less than B, then A else B. Okay, so this is a normal if, and this is if S. So what happens is, what is the difference is, the output is the same. The output for both the functions are the same. That is, if A is less than B, then it returns A or returns B. Here also, if A is less than B, it returns A or B. But here, if this condition satisfies, then the argument will be executed. Then that particular function will be executed. That is, if A is really less than B, then A will be executed, else B will be executed. And as per that, the output comes up. But here, it does the functions. It executes the functions first and then checks the condition. As per that, the output comes up. Example. I'll take a very simple example. For x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 4. If x is less than y, okay, then x plus plus else y plus plus. Okay, so if I execute this particular function, so what is the output of my function? X is less than y. It's true. Then the output is x plus plus, that is nothing but x is equal to 4. Okay. Now what is the value of y actually? Y is still 4 only. Y is still 4. Okay. But now if I try to execute the other one, so if I execute this function with the same input, x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 4. Okay, if I execute with the same input, x equal to 3 and y equal to 4, x is less than y, it is true. But before that, it executes these functions. That is, the values of x will be equal to 4 and y will be equal to 5. Then it executes this function. Then as per that, the output will be coming up for us. Okay. So the output of both the functions is 4 itself, but the values are changing up because these functions are being executed before the condition is applied. So that's the basic difference between if absolute S and if normal if. Any doubts?
Yeah, one question only. What
Yes.
is the significance of like?
Can you be a bit louder?
Yeah, my question is, what is the significance of this? I mean, can you give some practical use of it?
Yeah, that's what I had shown, right? This is the practical use. This is the major difference. Okay. We will be finding the users also. Like if we require both the functions need to be executed, then we will apply that particular logic.
Okay.
Okay. So Boolean are clear. Any doubt? Okay, I will take it as no and go to the next function, that is text. Text functions are which will work on completely strings. Okay, so each function is working on specific data type. That is, arithmetic will work on integers, numeric values. Boolean will work on true or false. Text will work on string functions. Okay, so whether we require a substring, first one is substring. That is, if I want the customer name and vendor name as substring of customer name should be vendor name. That is, like, let me say, first three digits, first three characters need to be my vendor name. Okay, just if you can double click on it, here you need to specify what is the start position and what is the count. My count here is 3. My first three values of the customer name should be coming to the vendor name. Okay, so if you test it, I am taking 4-digit value here, so 4 characters here, such that we will have only 3 characters in the output. See, the output got executed and you can see SAR, the first 3 characters. Let me take like this, because there is no change in the output. Now at least we will find some change. See, the first 3 characters came as an output for us. So again, here you can mention if the start position, from where you need to start and from up to where you need to give. Okay, if you can specify that, then this will be working out. Then comes concat function. Concatenation is nothing but you are concatenating 2 segments, and if you double click on this, you can give the delimiter which need to be present in between those concatenation. For example, if I want hyphen as concatenating delimiter, okay, then I can give this, such that if I take like this, I am still taking order number as 5 and customer name as like this. Now this 5 will act as an string for me rather than a number. See, it did not give a populated any error, and it had taken 5 as a string, and it had appended the delimiter what I had given there as hyphen, and this particular vendor name came up for me. Concat. Then comes equals. If string 1 equals to string 2, then it is true, else it is false. Okay, if I say always my customer name should be if I give a function, business function, stating that if my customer name is SAP, then no line then only the line items should display.
Only text comparisons we can do it, right?
Yeah, only text comparisons.
Only text comparison.
Yes. See, if you see,
previously we discussed equals A means
Yeah.
arithmetic thing.
yes, I want to go there only. Equals S is nothing but equals of string. Okay, in Boolean we are having one equals. This equals is for Booleans, true and true, and or false and false, like that. If false is equal to false, this is true. Okay, it's like Boolean equals. Again, in arithmetic we are having one thing like equals A. It is nothing but arithmetic equals numbers. Okay, that's the major difference between these 3 equal functions, which are lying at different function groups. Okay, then comes index of. Now at this index of function, we'll be taking the first input as an search string or as a big string, and we are trying to search some character in this particular string. For example, if I want to search the character A in the customer name, so now this particular function will be giving me what is the index of the first occurrence of A. Okay, what is the occurrence of A? It is 1. So the vendor name now will be 1. Like this, right? It's 1 here. Similarly, we are having other index of, but this index of is of 3 parameters. Okay, it is having 3 parameters. The first parameter still states the search string, the big string where we need to search, and the second one will be the search string what we need to search, and the third one specifies the start of the index. Like for example, if I want to start the search from the second element onwards. Okay, now I am searching still the value A, character A, but I am starting my search from constant from the second characters, that is 0, 1, 2, the third one onwards. Okay, let me see what is the value now it will give to me. So this started its search from I. Here this is I, right? From here it started, so it will be 2, 3, 4. The value should be 4, like this. So because it started its search from this point, and from that point what is the first occurrence? That is this one, which is at 4. Index of with 3 parameters. Then comes last index of. Last index of implies which the search string from the last. It searches the string from the last and gives the last index, and gives this is the same thing again. Three parameters. The third parameter states like from which point it need to start its search. The same thing. Then comes compare function. Compare will compare both the strings and returns the dictionary format. For example, which comes first in the dictionary format, then it gives 1, -1, 0 appropriately. For example, if something starting with A comes first, if something starting with T comes after. So if first string starts with A and second string starts with T, so A will be less than T. So the compare function gives -1 as an output. Okay. Ramesh is having a question. Can index of first find be used as a start again to find all indexes? First find we can be used as a start again. I did not understand. Okay. That will be an input. Okay. As 2A. Yes. So index of returns only the first occurrence, first one. Can index of first find be used as a start again to the find all indexes? Okay, so you want me to do like this. Let me, if I understood correctly, see, if this is the thing what you are trying to pose it, so I am using the index of function like this. So wherever you are finding the first A, that will be the startup for the second search. Is this answers your question, Ramesh? Okay. Yeah. So, but the output will be the only one thing what you are giving here. That is only 4. Okay. Inbuilt, these are all nested functions. These in the all the calculations which are doing inside will not be coming as an output. The output will be the only one what we are giving to the target field. Okay. Then comes the compare. Compare is nothing but that's what we are discussing, like it's a dictionary order. Okay, as per the dictionary order, this will give the output. Then comes replace string. Replace string is again a simple one, where the first parameter will be the string, second parameter will be the element that need to be replaced, and the third one will be which will be replaced. Okay, simple. Let's take an example, very simple example. Anyways, we are having all the things here. So I will replace A with H. Start. Now all the A will be replaced with H, and you will get something as HIRH. Okay, like this. Replace string, the simple one. Then comes length. Length will give the length of the string, length of the input string. Ends with operation will check whether this particular string is ending with the string what you had given as an input, second input here. If this ends with the same thing, it is true, else false. That is, for example, if my business states that the customer name should end with IN, which states that it is an Indian company. Okay, so then only there should be some discount in the price. Okay, so if it is US, then only it should be in dollars. Okay, so like that, if some business function came to me, then I will be taking up my customer name and check with if whether it ends with IN or not. How we can check? The simple thing again, just you will give here customer name and constant, and that will be output here, and you will check whether it is ending with IN or not. Okay, so now the customer name, vendor name should be true because it is ending with IN. So based on this, we will try to give some more functions and try to format the output for us. Okay, see here we got true because it is ending with IN, else it will give false. Similarly, starts with function will check whether it is starting with the particular second string or not. If it is starting with, it gives true, else it gives false. Similarly, starts with 3 arguments. The third argument is nothing but the start of the start of the search. Okay, so here you can specify from which index onwards the this function need to start with. As per that, it will function. Then comes to uppercase, which will change the input value completely to an uppercase. To lowercase will change the complete value into a lowercase. Lastly, trim which will trim the extra spaces that is present in the string. Any doubts in the text functions? Left trim, no, only trim. Left trim, right trim, there is no those many trims. Only one trim is there. Okay.
So,
Any
regarding the trim, so let's say if we want to remove the white spaces, preceding white spaces, we can use trim, or how it is?
it will
Let's
remove
say,
all the spaces in the left, in the starting end and the ending end also.
Oh, okay.
Left
So it
trim
doesn't
or right
basically
trim, it
check
is
whether
completely trim.
it is okay.
Any more queries? Can I move ahead? Can I go to the next function group? The next function group is conversion. So in conversion, we will now discuss only about fixed values. Okay, we will not discuss all these other three. We will discuss this after some time. Let me go with only fixed values now. Okay, fixed values are nothing but we are getting a key. The input which is coming in will be acting as a key, and what is the respective value we need to give to the give to the output or target. For example, if I am having a table which is giving me, which gives me the numbers like 01, 02, 03, 04, something like that. If 01 is coming, I need to move a value into the target stating that it is a success. Okay, if 02 is coming, I need to give as inactive. If 03, it is error. Okay, something like this. So if this is the key, if 01 is coming as an input, success should be output. 02 inactive, 03 error. Like this, if I am having a big table, usually you will be having this for currencies. Okay, for example, if I'm having some country as US, you need to mention the currency as dollars. Okay, if it is like in India, IN, you need to mention as rupees. Okay, so based on the country code, I need to give the currency here. Okay, so like this. So this is a big table I am having. Now, as per the key value, the output should be coming as for us. Simple. Go to the fixed values here. Click on the fixed values, and a table will be opening for you like this. Just fit it in your mapping like this, and you can give your key here like 01, success, 02, failure, okay, etc. Let me test it. Now my customer name will be 01. See, if 01 is my input, I got success here. If it is 02, it will come as failure now. See, this is a failure. Now, we are having one more condition, that is, if the value is not present in our key table. Like now we had just tested with 01 and 02. If what is the case if other than these two integers that is coming in, if 0510 something like that are coming in, what need to be the output value? So here at this phase, at this header type, we are having something like if behavior if lookup fails. If this particular lookup fails, what is the behavior you are expecting? Okay, if you want to use a key, use key implies, let me go with use key first. Use key is nothing but if I'm having a value 03 which is not in the table, then it will use the key itself. Key is nothing but your input itself, that is the output will be 03 only. Like this, 03 only. And 1 minute. If we have many country codes, say 100, then we do as many graph, or can a table be used? Yeah, Ramesh. For this, if you are having that already in one table, that is an SAP table, let me say, or a JDBC table, or a SOAP table, something like that, then you can go with this RFC lookup or JDBC lookup. Okay, these lookups are nothing but they will go into this other system. Okay, they will connect to the other system and extract the output. That's why I kept this aside for now, because it is something more configuration need to be done for the in order to get this work it out. Okay, if they are more than if the count is something limitless and it is already exist in one table format for us, that is in our SAP SC11 or SC16 or SM30, in those transactions, if you are finding that table, okay, you can use that. You can trigger one RFC. You can write one RFC which will do a query of those tables and give the output, and that RFC can be called in this particular function and we can get the output. I will show this concept using RFC lookup, but on later classes, not now. Okay, we are discussing on use key value. If I go to the second option, use default. So whatever value you give here, that will be used if this behavior fails up. Mostly we will go with default value itself, because the customers or clients says that if nothing is present in the table, then use a default value. Okay, that will be the default value. If my client sticks that if other than the table key values, if any other element comes, it need to throw an exception, then you can go with throw exception radio button. It will throw us an exception for us. Okay, any doubt? Fixed values. So just remember these fixed values. We will discuss value mapping, JDBC, RFC also. We will try to execute value mapping. We will try to execute RFC. Of course, JDBC we cannot execute it because we are not having a database with us. But I can show you how we will be trying to do with JDBC also. Okay, nowadays we are having SOAP lookup. SOAP also. SOAP is also one of the lookups. We can use SOAP also there. Okay. So conversions, clear? Any doubt in the conversions? Can I go to the next topic, date? Okay, I will take as no, and I will going to the next one, date. Date is very simple. Just we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 5 functions, and those are also very easy. First one is current date. Okay, if you double click on this, you can give the target format, how your target format need to come. Okay, here if you go for help, you can also mention the time like this. Okay, for example, if I am having mapping the current date with vendor name, See what is the format in which format I want to get. Also you can specify that format by double clicking that current date. Now I will get with hours, minutes and seconds. See 18/07/2014 with hours, minutes and seconds. If see hours, minutes and seconds is also having slash. Now for example, if I double click on it, go to the help, if I say the time separator as colon, okay, and date separator as hyphen. See now in this particular format I will be getting it dd-mm-yyyy hours, minutes, seconds. Just execute it. Okay, so you can find here how you got the output. Now similarly your date transformation will take place. Date transformation is nothing but whenever a date is coming from the input source and you want to format the input source to the output format. That is, here you are having two things. One is input date format, the other one is output date format. As your input comes, that in that manner your output will be existing for you. Okay, like this. So you need to specify what type of input format also I am getting here and what type of output format you require. Okay, if you mention that, that particular translation will take place. Simple. Date before. Okay, here which it states which date is before out of these two, like input 0 is date before, then input 1 if it will be true, else it will be false. Again, if you double click it, you can give the format of the dates, how the format of the both the dates are having here. Similarly, date after, whether input 0 will be after input 1 or not, else if it is true it becomes as true, else false. Compare dates, which date is if input 0 is more than input 1, then it is 1, else -1 or 0. The same thing. Compare string, how the compare string is taking place, like that only the comparing of the dates. Excuse me. So as per that, comparing of the dates also will takes place for you. That's what the date function. Add days. So still that add days is not there, but you need to do one. You need to write a functions for that. You need to write an add function for it to get an yesterday, if day before, a day before, something like that. You need to write a function. You are not having a ready-made standard function for that. Okay. Date functions. That is what your date functions is. Then constants. Constants also very simple thing. In constants, I guess you're already seeing the first one. Always I am using something like constant, which is a hard-coded value where you can hard code it like this. Like here I am hard coding the SAP here. Like, so I can for any value that you need to use, you can use this constant function and just map it. That will be utilized like that. Okay. Then coming to copy value. Copy value is having a significance. For example, if I am having some 3 line items, so 3 different line items. Now if I want to copy the second item number to all my targets, if I say here I can mention what is the index number. I am mentioning the index number as 1 and go to test and duplicate it. One more I am duplicating. Here it is 2 and here it is 3. 1, 2, 6, 7. See how the item number will be displaying for us. It is taking a bit time. Yep. Let's see. So any more queries up to this point? Is it clear what we had tried to explore today?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, it's clear.
Good, cool. And I think we are left out with one more function group, that is statistic. Okay, statistic is nothing but again the statistics. So this is also a simple one. Just let me finish that function group and we'll end up the class for today. Tomorrow we will start with node functions. Node functions. Node functions are pretty much important, and the depth of message mapping is completely on node functions. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. I think some connection problem in the remote desktop. Okay, we are at this constant and checking copy value. Right. And we are having some other function, that is sender and receiver. Okay, sender and receiver are two other functions we are having. What these functions will does is, it in the real time it will read the business system or business component. For example, if I am using a sender here as a function in my target element in my target field, then this particular sender function will retrieve in the real time the actual business component or sender business system. Okay, that particular component, communication component, will be coming up and storing as a target field for the sender. Similarly, for the receiver, what is the actual receiver business component or receiver business system, that will be coming up as an input if you are using receiver there. Okay. Okay, let's see for 3 more minutes. If this is not working out for us, we will wind up the session for today and we will connect again tomorrow. Tomorrow is fine, right? The same time, 7:30 a.m. IST.
Yep, it should be okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think all are okay. That's fine then. We'll be having the session tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. the same time. Okay. I think. Yeah, I guess we can wind up for now because I don't think the system is working for us, and I will report this to our basis consultant once again. And let's go with once again this copy value tomorrow, and then we will check on the other node functions. Okay. Thank you guys.